had multiple coaching students pay me $50,000 to coach them and disappear. I am doing everything in my power to get them on the phone, much less do something, much less take action, and they disappear. And this is where I first started to learn that real estate coaching, it's probably all coaching, but for me, it was real estate coaching is 90%. This is what I came up with. 90% psychologist. If you are a real estate coach, you are 90% psychologist, 10% teacher, 10% teaching tactics. It's not about the tactics, what I learned. It's about the psychology and it's about the mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. So Brian, can I share like an example in the gym, a story, because it's just really easy to correlate kind of this real estate training, coaching into gym stuff. So we own gyms, and mind you, very expensive monthly gyms. They start at $150 and we go up to about $450 a month. And to get to our gym, you got to go right by that gym. That's only $10 a month. Okay. So follow me on this, because you'll quickly see it has nothing to do with money. Somebody pays you 50 grand, money has no meaning to it. Nothing to do with money. So they come to our gym. Average guy comes in, he's 45 years old. He goes, "Hey man, want to lose 25 pounds. I'm like, "That's fantastic. Congratulations." And it looks like you could use it a little thinning out. Here's the deal. You can sit on one of our computers over there, Google how to lose 25 pounds as a 45-year-old male who's 200 pounds and wants to be 175, and your diet, your activity. And in 10 minutes, you'll know exactly what you have to do and exactly how to do it. From a fitness regimen to a dietary program, the whole 9 yards. I said, "So why are you here? Why? You don't need me to do all this." And this is the big takeaway. And this is the aha moment that we got to get them through, right? That is not about our trainers. It's not about our equipment. It's not about our process. None of that, right? It's the other piece here. "So why are you here, man?" "Because we're not cheap." He goes, "Well, I'll be honest with you, I haven't been able to do it." I'm like, "Good. At least we're in the same space." Now I got to ask you, what is it you really want to do here? "I want to lose 25 pounds. I'm like, "That's fantastic. But that's not what I'm asking. That's a way to measure our progress. But what is it you want?" Now, what we're diving at, and this is, if I'm a coach right now and I'm trying to figure out how to get my students to another place, right, where I get them to take action, this is step number one. What I'm diving at is, what is the result of the result? The result, 25 pounds, but what's the result of achieving that result? Because there's a thing we heard 1,000 times over, Brian, all through our lives. In order to have something we've never had, we got to do something we've never done. In order to do something we've never done, we got to become someone we're currently not. And the result of the result, you become someone that you're not now. Now I dive into it. What do you really want? He goes, "All right, I'll be honest with you." Said, "It's embarrassing, but I'll be honest with you, I don't even like what I see in the mirror anymore. Kind of feel like a piece of crap over, but worse than that, I don't think my wife likes what she sees, and I think she's not totally into me anymore." Like, guess what? That I sell. That's what we do here. We give you back your mojo to earn your queen back. How's that? The money at this point has anything to do with the equation. Now, here's the power of it, right? And I'll dive in a little deeper, he wants that relationship back. He wants that mojo back. He wants to feel like the man he once was. He wants to look in the mirror, right? And be proud of what he sees. The weight is a way to measure it. The result is nothing more than a measurement in progress. It's the result of the result that we want. And that's where our fire is, right? So one morning he doesn't show up. Somebody at the desk outbound calls. Let's call him Jim. "Hey, Jim, you're not here. What's up?" Before any words come out of your mouth, "Jim, before you say anything, I got to ask you a question. Are you giving up on earning back your queen? Yes or no?" Nothing to do with weight, nothing to do with working out, right? Are you giving up on earning back your queen? You don't think that dude's going to get his ass out of bed and get there no matter what, right? Because now we have a new meaning behind what we're trying to achieve. The challenge in real estate is it's measured in dollars, and dollars mean nothing. There's zero emotional attachment to dollars, right? So we could pick a goal. I want to do, whether it's $100,000 in a month or $1 million in a year or number of transactions, they don't mean anything until we go to the next space. what does it mean to be the person who deserves those results? So this is a good time to add like a command or a statement that some people hear in this, Brian, it'll get a little under their skin, and that's okay, right? Just don't get upset about it. But it's true. And the statement goes like this: each and every one of us, Brian, you, me, everyone listening, at this exact moment in time, we have exactly everything we deserve to the exact degree that we deserve it. No more, no less, right? Because the way this world works is the universe gives of us what we deserve. And that's the having part. And someone says, no, I deserve more, but no buts here, right? And the goal of losing 25 pounds isn't about 25 pounds. It's becoming deserving, becoming that new person that would then excite your wife again, rekindle that relationship. And that's the outcome of this effort, right? So when we come back into our real estate space, all of our students always set these new goals. Some of them are, I want to do my first deal. But what does that mean to you? What's the result of that? Joe, I've got the confidence. All right, good. Anchor in on the confidence then. Confidence, they are correct. Confidence is earned. Like, I can't give you confidence, Brian. You can't give it to me. I can't borrow it or steal it. It comes from results. But that's a desirable thing for a lot of people. We have no confidence in doing the business. Well, you won't until you get results, right?
It comes from results, and results come from failure. And
Boom.
and failure is uncomfortable. Failure, a lot of people think I fail once, I am a failure, period. And that's just not the way it works. It's you fail. Just because you fail, it does not make you an actual failure. It just means you have life lessons that you can learn from and will help you grow to become what you want to do. But the problem is most people fail and they don't want to get back up. They can't get back up. They don't have the motivation to get back up, whatever it is. I don't know if you remember this, you probably don't. But in my life, the last time we spoke, I remember vividly, because I remember it really. What, you weren't the only person I said this to. It was just my mantra. I was 40 pounds overweight. I knew I was overweight. I knew I needed to do something about it. Like you said earlier, I can Google search all day long what to do. It wasn't about what to do. It was, I did not have the proper, I didn't desire it enough. I wasn't passionate about doing it. Although I wanted to see that result. I wanted to see it magically happen, but I wasn't desperate about it. I wasn't. Some tragedy, trauma entered my life to where it's something I wanted to do. It's something I became passionate about suddenly. And I started doing it. I've lost almost 40 pounds in a year. And just by doing, just by getting outside and doing things that I enjoy doing anyway, and just making it a priority, changing up a lot of my priorities that were completely screwed up. And so here's the question. It should not take trauma or tragedy for someone to change. Although that seems to be the most common, by far and away, the most common way people do change is some sort of trauma or tragedy enters their life. Patrick, what have you seen through your studies and through your actual real world experience doing this? What have you seen are different ways people can achieve what it is that you're talking about without going through some of the just absolute trauma and tragedy that I've had to go to and through so many people have had to go through?
Yeah, that's a good question. So let me just acknowledge what you're saying, right? There's no greater instigator of change than the avoidance of pain or experiencing great pain or the threat of more desire or dire and deeper pain, right? The gain of pleasure does not get us to do shit,
Yes.
right? It will not get our train rolling down the track. The only thing that gets us to start changing, right, when in the relationship of pain and pleasure, is the pain side of it. Now, with that said, right, you're like, oh man, wouldn't it be nice not to have to go through maybe a near death like experience in order to create change? And the answer is yeah, it'd be really good, because most of us don't have that opportunity. Pain is a gift from the universe. It says, stop, pay attention, I'm giving you a chance. See, pain in our world gets a bad rap. We think it's bad. Think about this for a second. When we experience, see, when it's physical pain, we have to confront it. Although certain types of physical pain, like a headache, we try to make go away with Advil, and all it's doing is convoluting and covering up the problem that we drink too hard every Friday night. Makes the problem worse. But when it comes to emotional and mental pain, right, it's very easy to anesthetize that and ignore it, when in fact that pain is as instructional and directional as physical pain is. It's the greatest teacher the universe has for us, but we're taught to run from it. Now, what is the proper response to pain? Stop what you're doing. Eyes up, ears forward. Pay attention, because you're about to get a lesson. It tells you what to stop doing and what to start doing. But it requires mindfulness, being present, head, feet in the same place at the same time when we're talking about emotional and mental pain, right? Now, that aside, right? Because to your point, you'd like to have to not get in those pain situations to create change in life. How do we create it getting out in front of it to avoid the pain? That's a hell of a plan, right? So it goes something like this, right? Once we're crystal clear on what it is we want, the thing, call it the goal. In this case, we'll go back to the analogy we're using, the 25 pounds, right? And then we go one step further and we know the result of the result. What does it do for you? What is that newfound love and passion back in that relationship? How does that feel? Right? And we start experiencing that in a regular time. And then here's the big part, because this is what you're seeking in your questions, right? Each morning we wake up, we go to that spot. What is it like? Act as if you're there, so we can get a whole body experience. And we got to ask ourselves the big question: who do I got to become in order to get here, right? Because we've already written down all the steps it takes, say, to lose the 25 pounds, which takes repetition and commitment and discipline and understanding of some of these words. Discipline it's a funny word, because everybody says, everybody thinks like the goal is discipline. When discipline's not the goal. Discipline's a tool to establish a habit so we don't have to be disciplined anymore. Habit is when the body knows better than the mind, doesn't need our conscious thought or decision making. It runs automatically. What if we could be disciplined long enough to recreate a dietary program that fuels our body, right? It makes us feel good, creates a chemical response in our body that we are happy all the time. We can actually do that, right? So that's these words we use: commitment, right? Whatever it takes, no matter what, right? That level of stuff is what kind of gets us over to this deeper space. So the objective here: get clear on a goal, create the steps to produce the goal, which any one of us can do no matter what it is we want. Connect with what it's like to be there, and then ask yourself every morning, who do I got to become to do what I have to do to have this? This is the fuel for the hard work.